Okay, so here's my response video to the Eagles' loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, 27-20. I'm actually taking this loss a little better than normal. You know, I'm a highly passionate person, but what I've seen from this game, I'm actually pretty proud of how my Eagles played, especially with some of the injuries that came up. Successful teams go through a time where players get injured and they can still produce. The Eagles were a part of a great defensive battle until later in the game. At one point, the game was 6-3. It could have been, should have been, whatever, 6-6, but it's not because it wasn't. But a very defensive game in the first half, 6-3 being the halftime score. But then, of course, the offense on both sides woke up and points were scored. To the point that the final score is 27-20. Of course, it was a very exciting end to the game where we were still throwing it into the end zone to potentially tie it. I thought that was kind of cool, especially with some of the mistakes that we had. We still were in the game, which, from that standpoint, I got a lot of positive things to say where our Eagles have fight. They don't give up. Now, do I wish there was more time on the clock and there was better time management? Yes, I do. But still, down by 14 points and score with 8 seconds left, and next thing you know, we get an onside kick. Still throw it into the end zone. Great. Now, good things that I saw. I like Carson Wentz. I do. I like his ability to extend plays and his willingness to throw up the ball to his receivers and allow for his receivers to make plays on the ball. So I think what he's building is a level of expectation with some of the receivers and saying, hey, look, I'm going to throw you the ball. It's your job to go up and get it, right? But it's not going to be one of those things where I don't have confidence in you. No, I'm going to display some confidence in you, and I want you to know that week in and week out. And we saw that with some of the passes they threw to Torrey Smith, Alshon Jeffrey, where he threw it up there and said, hey, look, make a play on it. I don't care so much about my stats and looking all perfect. I want to build something. So I thought that was pretty positive. I thought later in the game he did start to run the ball. I do believe that he needs to start doing that a little bit earlier and sprinkling it in. I don't think he's going to be, you know, Michael Vick or anything, or Randall Cunningham. But I think he needs to sprinkle that in a little bit, like Kansas City did with Alex Smith, to keep the defense honest, because we will talk in a second about our rushing attack. But yeah, and I am proud of the defense, especially with McCoy going out, Jalen Watkins going out as well, while we're dealing with Ronald Darby being out. So I thought those were positives. I thought Elliott, the kicker that we just got, yes, I know he missed the one field goal, but I think overall he did pretty good, especially for his first NFL game. So I thought that was pretty well. I do like Michael Kendricks. I like Michael Kendricks and what he brought to the table today, and I think we need to utilize him more. Like I said in my pre-game video, I thought we saw a lot of Michael Kendricks in the first half that was very promising and awesome. We didn't see so much in the second half. So that being said, rare fumble by Darren Sproles, another interception from Wentz that really cost us, but it hit off at somebody's helmet. So this is 2 weeks in a row where an interception or turnover really changed the dynamic of the game a lot. Turnovers in the wrong spots of the field, which really cost us, which, let's be real, this is the difference between really great teams and good teams, where we hung in there with them for a lot of games, but then once we started making these mistakes, that's when Kansas City really separated themselves from us, because they're a team that doesn't turn over the ball. So we need to be a little more consistent. Carson Wentz needs to hold on to the ball. He fumbles a lot in the pocket, so he needs to hold on to the ball. But I mean, like I said, I like his mentality stuff. Just he's got to do things a little different. From the defensive side of the ball, I did mention Michael Kendricks in the first half, but he went a little dormant in the second half. But we're still knocking around Alex Smith a little bit. But I think we need to dial up the blitz a little bit more, especially with Michael Kendricks, almost treating him like a Von Miller. And keep that pressure ridiculous on whatever quarterback we're playing, which I think we have a great opportunity next week against the Giants. I like Russell Douglas. I liked how he played. Yet they had to give a lot of cushion, especially against Hill, because that guy's like the fastest guy in the NFL. But I thought the tackling was absolutely acceptable. Yes, we didn't tackle Hunt on that long touchdown, but that was just, he was free, and it was a bad angle by our backup safety, Graham, because McCloyd was injured. I'm not making excuses. That was a bad angle, but I think overall the tackling was good. And we had a lot of sacks, a lot of pressures, a lot of hurries, which is good. We talked a little bit about special teams. I know Darren Sproles had a rare fumble. That crap happens. We got to clean that up. And Elliott, our kicker, missed a field goal. But in the end, it didn't really cost us per se. Or when we're throwing those Hail Marys into the end zone, that would have been for the win. Okay. So I hope we clear that part up. Offensive side of the ball. There's some people that were like MIA. Like anybody that was not Zach Ertz for our tight ends, which means Brent Selleck and Trey Burton, not catching anything. Nelson Aguilar was MIA the entire game until the very, very end. He had one target, it seemed like, or maybe two or something, but he didn't have many targets all day, and he has a touchdown catch. That's a good thing. But if he's a matchup problem against nickel corners and linebackers, we didn't hear about him all day. And then high-pointing catches, which was Torrey Smith. It seems like the ball's bouncing off people's hands, and then they're pulling it in. I do believe, and then I'll go into this, and then I'll say what I believe. And our running game is non-existent. I mean, when Darren Sproles becomes our primary running back, that means your answer at running back, you don't have one. And maybe they say matchup, we want to speed, but we're like, no, if Kansas City's run defense sucks, then we need to be running the ball. I believe, I'm going to say his own film, I believe, run Corey Clement. Run him. Make him your number one. Run that guy. He's about 220 pounds. He's not as big as Blunt, but run that guy. Just trust that guy. I'm watching C.J. Anderson right now beat up on the Cowboys, and now he was undrafted. Run Corey Clement. I'm telling you right now. Just run him. Run him north-south. Between him and what Carson Wentz has to do running out of the pocket, trust that. And then get these other guys existent. Like Nelson Aguilar was non-existent. Both of our other tight ends was non-existent. Start using Mac Hollins to high point balls, because he can also run deep like Torrey Smith. Put Mac Hollins in more. Glad we didn't have too many predictable bubble screen plays from Doug Peterson, but I do want to see a commitment to the run. But that being said, we are now turned into Broncos fans, LA Rams fans, and Detroit fans for the rest of the weekend. So the Giants, Redskins, and the Cowboys lose. I don't like the win by default, and I am looking forward to the game against the Giants. But hats off to Andy Reid. I like you personally as a man, and I hope you do well for the rest of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I hope you get another shot at playing against you, but the only shot that would be is in the Super Bowl. So yes, I'll say that here. But hats off to Kansas City Chiefs that played a very solid game, and all the Chiefs fans out there. There's no discrepancy. You guys were the best team today. I hope in the future we got another shot to outlast you and win. This is Kid Philly, and go Birds. Looking forward to playing the Giants next week. Have a good night.